Hello all. Second day of Navratri, where I will have a quiz at the end of this story which I am going to tell now. So please pay attention and answer will be at the end of the video. Second day of Navratri is dedicated to Ma Brahmacharini. In this avatar, she embodies tap or penance after Sati immolated herself in sacrificial fire. She took birth as the daughter of king of mountain called Himvan or Himalaya. She was named Parvati. When Parvati grew up, sage Narada, son of Brahma, paid her a visit. He told her that she did have a chance to marry her husband from her previous birth, Lord Shiva, if she follows the path of penance. Determined to marry Shiva again in this birth as well, Parvati took extremely difficult regime of penance and devotion. For 1,000 years she ate fruits and flowers. Thereafter for 100 years she ate only vegetables, followed by 3,000 years of eating only fallen leaves. She slept on the floor of the forest so that she can complete her penance successfully. Thus she earned the name Tapascharini or Brahmacharini. She continued her penance without food and water for many years. Due to this act of giving up eating leaves, she is also called as Aparna. 1,000 years of penance, her body has become extremely weak and fragile. Her mother Maina was deeply pained seeing her daughter in such a state, and she cried out with sorrow, "O Ma!" Since then, Parvati also came to be known as Uma. The news of such a long and hard penance reached everywhere. In the end, Lord Brahma appeared in front of Parvati and told her that no one had observed tap the way she has done. She could have undertaken such hardship as her love for Shiva was true and pure. Narad also blessed her that she would have Lord Shiva as her husband in this birth. Later, Lord Shiva accepted Parvati as his wife. Devotees worship Ma Brahmacharini on second day of Navratri to provide them with the strength and determination to observe the 9-day fast while abstaining from food and sometimes even water. This avatar teaches penance, devotion, restraint, and solitude. It teaches that one should not abandon his or her duties when faced with adversity. So, this is the story of Ma Brahmacharini. The second day we will observe and we worship her. So, here is the quiz time, guys. Question is, on which day of Navratri Ghat Sthapana is observed? Ghat Sthapana is observed on which day of the Navratri? You think of the answer and we will see how we can grow and care for chrysanthemum flower for Lord Durga. So here is the question. You can offer any white flower to the Lord Ma Brahmacharini, that is white jasmine, crepe jasmine or white chrysanthemum. I will call it as mums. So mums are the perennial herbaceous plant. Perennial means it will remain with you for many years. It will not die off. And herbaceous means whose stem will not become very hardy, or it will not become strong or woody kind. It will remain soft like succulent and dies after flowering. That's the reason we have to keep cutting the spent stem so that root can develop new shoot and branches. This is my plant chrysanthemum. As you see, this I have not bought it. This I am not a very big fan of this plant, so I don't have any more other than this plant. It's the only plant I have. So in one of my purchase of other plant, I got it as a gift. But look at this. In within March month, I have got one sapling. It was this much small, and from that time till October, it has become this much. Actually, this was also part of this plant, but accidentally it got broken. I did not throw this. What I did, I have sown it next to this plant, and I'm very sure the root is not dead. It is almost 12 days. If root was dead, I would have seen all the stem should have been dried out. But I have green stem here, green stem here, green stem. So I am hoping that it will grow. So now you have understood that you can grow it either by seed or by cutting as well, or you can directly buy plant from your nursery. It is always better that, like October, September, October is the time when it blooms, right? So much before that you try to grow your plant. Don't wait for that month. Okay, I'm not talking about seed, but at least plant or cutting, you, or you even seed also you can do it 3 4 months before. So that way the plant gets time to become strong. More the strength plant will have, the better it will give you the result of bloom. So this is the season, about season and how you can grow. Let us see what is the soil medium you can use for this plant. For soil medium, I have never insisted that you have to have coco peat in many plants. But for this plant, I would say that keep this as a very important part whenever you are making a soil medium, because chrysanthemum loves moist soil and well draining soil. So you should not be thinking that let me water more and make it moist. No, they want a moist environment but not over watering. So whenever you are making a soil mixture, make sure that you are half portion will be your well drained material like sand or perlite and coco peat. These two, one is optional, either perlite or sand, but this is the compulsory item. And when you are using this, make sure you are using a sterilized, well washed one, because it has lots of salt and it will harm your plant. So you have to wash it thoroughly in hot water or antifungal water 3 4 times. Now, 1/4 you can take garden soil, and rest of the portion you can take any compost. This will be your good soil medium. To make it healthy or immune from disease and pest, add neem cake powder and antifungal powder, one spoon for 8 inch of pot. 1 spoon of gypsum, 1 spoon of chelated iron. If you don't have this, just add 1 spoon of bone meal, because since it is a religious plant, maybe many people will avoid. So that's the reason you can add these two. I also use mycorrhiza because it has lots of function. One among is making the root strong. This plant is very soft, right? So please use mycorrhiza in that. The root will become strong, and also it has the tendency to hold water or moisture. So that way you are going to give a very good environment for your plant. Mix it well and give you pot your plant. Let us talk about the container. Always use a big wide container for this plant because it has a tendency to multiply. And make sure that you are giving a good space between two plants. The too much of crowded plant will not have a sufficient nutrition. They will also give rise to pest and disease because of the crowded environment. So please make sure to separate them if too much of plant has grown in one container. Second thumb rule is your sunlight and your water. Water should be given only in the soil. Please try to avoid giving water on the stem or the foliage, because they are very soft and sophisticated. It will rot. It will actually lead to rot. So just directly put the water in the soil whenever soil is 1 inch dried. During flowering season, it needs more water. So make sure that you are checking daily and you are watering as per the requirement. Sunlight, 6 to 7 hours is very good sunlight for that. Even if you have 4 to 5 hours, that should be fine. But more the sunlight, better it will grow. The only condition it doesn't survive is the frost condition or the very cold environment. If you are able to survive this plant in the winter, then it will be your friend forever. How you can do? Please do mulching. Anything you can keep for 1 inch of layer, maybe coco peat, maybe leaves, maybe compost. Or what I do is I will cover this soil by polythene, making a small hole, 2 3 holes, not much, so that it can breathe. I do it for my adenium also, and I have been successfully saving them from winter without bringing them inside the home. So that way you will be able to prevent this plant in the winter. For fertilization, it is a heavy feeder, but still I don't give multiple things. I just give some liquid fertilizer like seaweed or banana, onion. Onion I will avoid here. Banana or papaya peel fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, which I will give them once in 10 days or 15 days is enough. Compost I will give once in 3 months, and I will sometimes spray NPK to this plant or Miraculan, or I will spray
this Epsom salt. So in the gap of 10 to 15 days, I will rotate these fertilizer for this plant, and it is doing great so far. It has given me lots of flowers, if you see, buds, and it is going to be a surprise because for the first time it will bloom. From March month I have grown. Actually, this was, I already told, right? This has lots of buds, but accidentally it got broken from my hand. So yes, this is how fertilizer is helping me or working in this case. Pest is the, like aphid is the enemy for this plant. So please try to make sure from the beginning only you are preventing. Make a schedule of 15 days. Every 15 days you are giving either Confidor spray or neem oil spray, and in the soil you are giving antifungal powder, or these three. If you are able to make a nice schedule, I am sure aphid will not attack your plant. Your plant will, and give a proper nutrition. If they are healthy, they will be able to resist, or they are immune to any disease. If you already have aphids, then of course manually you have to remove them using neem oil. Rub the neem oil in the area, infected area. Next day spray neem oil. Third day just see whether it is dead or not. Again repeat it. But make sure whenever you are doing daily treatment, try to wash it with water after that, because that will also harm the plant. Okay, it is very sensitive. It is not like other hardy plants. So be very gentle when you are working with chrysanthemums or mums, chrysanthemum. The last but not the least, the pruning. Actually, there is no, technically, it is not pruning, it is pinching. We have to keep pinching the plant. You have to remove the spent flower. You have to remove the dried out leaves. If your plant has become like this, try to remove the dried stem. What will happen? From the root itself, a new growth will happen. See, in this plant, my new growth is coming from here. So this way it multiplies on itself.
Now the time to answer the question which I have asked earlier. Ghat Sthapna happens on the first day of the Navratri. It is the method of inviting the presence of Goddess Shakti in the Kalash, that is holy pot. Thank you guys, for that's all for today. Next video will be of next incarnation and the another favorite plant or flower of Lord Durga. See you guys. Bye bye.